Guys, after a full year of posting to this channel, we're finally monetized. So today I'm going to share with you exactly how much this channel has earned in the first 20 days of being monetized, a few things I wish I knew about YouTube monetization, and my first big mistake. But let's rewind back to a desolate time when I was posting videos and not earning a single cent from my efforts. Things weren't easy, but during this time, I really loved watching these types of videos where creators would break down how much they've earned from their YouTube channels. I loved seeing what was possible on this platform and also what I may be able to expect if I continued down this road. And I saw some crazy numbers which were super inspiring. $2 million, $88,000, $360,000. And as my own monetization requirements got closer and closer to being complete, I started to get excited. How much would I make? What would my RPM be? Now quickly, if you don't know what RPM is, basically that's how much YouTube pays you per 1,000 views. And this is entirely dependent on how much they charge advertisers to put ads onto your videos, which means it's also highly affected by different factors like the geography of your audience, the niche and the topic that you cover, the time of year, and the value of you as a creator. Now, because my channel is somewhat similar to Catherine Manning, who shared her AdSense earnings, I thought I would see a similar RPM of around $7, but I was setting myself up for some disappointment, as you'll soon see. But I gotta tell you that the growth that happened to this channel couldn't have happened at a better time, because over the past couple of years, I'd also been juggling a part-time, which was basically a full-time job at a supermarket. And although it wasn't the hardest, it also wasn't the easiest work, and it kind of drained me physically and mentally each day, which made it hard to edit and post content to this channel. But it did also offer a lot of opportunities to laugh. Like one day I was on the checkouts and I had this old lady come up to me and say, "Hey, you have a really good voice and you should get into radio." I said, "Thanks." I chuckled to myself a little bit, but then later on I was thinking to myself, and A, I was super flattered because it's such a nice thing to say to a complete stranger, bit of validation from someone in the public who doesn't know I have a YouTube channel. But B, she said I should go into radio. She didn't say TV, she said radio. But anyway, working this job, editing for clients, and then trying to make YouTube videos for this channel myself left me with very little time, and I realized that I wouldn't be able to take this where I wanted it to go, because ultimately there is a lot more opportunity in video editing and creating YouTube videos than there was at that part-time job. And as I was posting videos to this channel, the feedback was absolutely incredible. You guys have been so supportive, and I'm super grateful to have you here. And I realized that it was time to make the jump into this. Now, I wouldn't consider this to be full-time because I'm also still editing for clients, but I needed to put in a lot more time and effort into this. So I quit that job, which was actually kind of scary because then it put it all on me. I had to make this work and I had to do well with my client edits, otherwise I was going to be starving. Now, prior to quitting the job, I had already started work on my Ali Abdaal Shorts video, which was taking a long time to edit. I was spending weeks on it, just putting in as much time as I could when I had the time to work on it. But quitting that job gave me a couple of weeks that I could just focus on this, get it done, and I thought it was going to do well because you guys were asking for it. But I didn't know it was going to do this well. In fact, it blew up with over 180,000 views and exploded this community to be over 11,000 subscribers, which is nuts. Now, this also meant that I quickly got to that 4,000 hour watch requirement, which had been a struggle in the past, which meant I could now apply to the YouTube Partner Program, and I breathed a sigh of relief. It finally happened and I could start earning money from the efforts that I put into this channel, which meant that I could finally pay for some food. Well, at least I thought I could. Because in order to complete this process, I needed to link up my AdSense account to my YouTube channel. And this is where I made the mistake that cost me over $100. Now, I know from watching other YouTubers that you can only have one AdSense account to all of your YouTube channels. Doesn't matter how many you have, you can only have one AdSense account. I knew this and I had an AdSense account from way back when I had a YouTube channel in the past, about 7 years ago, that was earning money through AdSense. But because it had been 7 years since I'd earned money from YouTube on that account, the account was actually deactivated when I logged in. So I thought, okay, that's fine. I can now create a new account on my new channel with a new email. So that's what I did. I created an account, linked it up to my YouTube profile, and waited to see if it would get approved. Now, luckily within one day, I got a response back. Unluckily, it said I was rejected because I already had an AdSense account, meaning I had to use the other one that was deactivated. So I went in, reactivated it, and so I could get paid, I changed the bank account details because they had changed since the last time I'd used it. But weirdly, it wouldn't let me do the verification needed in order to get paid. It was weird, but I thought I could just do it later on. So I went through the application process again, associated this old AdSense account, and thought, you know, it has to work this time. It's the right account, it's the only other account I have, and it only took 1 day previously to get a response, so I should be monetized within 1 day. Well, 1 day passed, nothing. 2 days, nothing. A week, still nothing. And at this point, my channel was getting anywhere from 5,000 to 6,000 views a day, which means every day I'm missing out on $6 to potentially $60 a day, depending on what my RPM was. But I thought maybe this is normal. It does say that it can take 2 to 3 weeks to get approved. But I gotta tell you, missing out on $5 to $50 a day, it's not the best feeling. So I sat there patiently waiting for it to get approved, and I didn't post anything to the channel because I didn't want to miss out on any potential revenue. Then 2 weeks after I had started this whole process, it was still pending, meaning that I had missed out on $87 US. And this is using my real RPM values, which is over 100 Australian dollars. At this point, I was starting to get impatient. So I went back into my Google AdSense account and had a look to see if there's anything that I can do in order to speed up this process. And the glaring thing that was pointing out to me is that I still needed to verify my bank account. Now it still wouldn't let me do it. So thinking that maybe this was the issue, I reached out to the Google support team, letting them know that I couldn't verify my bank account details. And I also mentioned to them that I was trying to get accepted into the YouTube partner program. It had taken a couple of weeks and every day I was missing out on this much revenue. I sent the email, went to bed, and when I woke up, I was monetized. But now I was really excited to see how much I would earn and what my RPM would be. Now get ready for this. On the first day, I woke up, checked my phone, went into the YouTube Studio app, and saw that I had made 54 cents. Yeah, all that patience, anticipation, and excitement for this. But I took a step back and realized that my account must have been approved at the end of the day, so there was only a few views counting towards this value. So I went to bed again and eagerly awaited the next morning to see how much I would actually earn. By the way, a quick little thing that nobody talks about is you don't actually have a regular time when YouTube updates your earnings. Some mornings you might see the updated value at 8 AM. Other times it might be 6 PM at night. There's no consistent time that you can go to check how much you've earned for that day. But back to checking my earnings, I woke up and saw that I had earned $5.66, which was way better than the first day. However, that was on 6,441 views. Now, if we do the math real quick, that's an RPM of only 87 cents. A far cry from the $7 I expected. Now, as you can tell, I was a little bit disappointed. Expectations will do that. But why is my RPM so low right now? Well, doing some research, there's a few reasons why it could be low at this point in time. The first of which could just be that the topics of my viral videos just don't earn as much. You know, they're not focused on finances or anything like that. It's about video editing. So maybe the RPMs are slightly lower for that type of content. The second reason is my channel is still new. So there's definitely no bidding war going on to my videos, people trying to advertise on them. So maybe we'll see this RPM rise over time. But the one reason that I know 100% has affected this RPM is where my audience has come from. So a lot of my viewers are coming from India and Bangladesh at the moment, and other countries that have very low RPMs for that audience. Now, there's no dramas here. Basically, it just means that advertisers aren't paying as much to advertise to that audience. Now, I don't care about that. I'm happy to have every single one of you here, regardless of where you're from. But you know, as my audience expands to other countries with a higher RPM, I could see my RPM naturally go up. But the good news is everything is on the rise, and my RPM at this current moment is around $1.23. So it has gone up from that first day. And in total, from the last 20 days, I've earned $146 from AdSense, which is equivalent to 226 Australian dollars, which makes me feel a little bit better. So if we extrapolate this to the end of 30 days, I should see anywhere from 200 to 300 US dollars if my views keep up. And another awesome thing, I got a $2 Canadian super thanks from Oh Just Eat It. Thank you so much for that, meaning I took home a further $1.03 from that. So again, thank you. And although this total is just a drop in the bucket of my ultimate goal of being able to help my mum buy a house, it is a first big step towards getting that goal. And I want to thank you guys so much for the support you've shown me over this past year. It's truly been awesome and has touched my heart. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you learned something new. And remember, you're only one video away too. Just make sure you link up your AdSense account correctly.